How's it going, Vandals? I'm Johnny Alpha, and I'd like to welcome you back to Graphic Vandalism. And I'm back with a new video, Vengeance is Mine, a look at 5 very exciting and brutal revenge comics. And there's just something utterly satisfying about a good revenge story. It's said that revenge is a dish best served cold, but I actually prefer it full of action and one-liners. And with that, Vandals, let's get some payback. Okay, first up we have Polar, Book 2, Eye for an Eye, written and drawn by the excellent and underrated Victor Santos and published by Dark Horse Comics. And Eye for an Eye is a sleek, hyper-stylized pulp noir trek into bloody vengeance. And the story for this one is all about Christy White, a young woman who saw something she never should have, and she gets shot and left for dead in the icy waters of the Arctic. Christy is then found by the Black Kaiser, a spy in hiding. And as she regains her strength, the Black Kaiser trains her to be a total badass. Then he sends her back to the world, and Christy just cuts the path through anyone who did her wrong, and I just love it. Santos's pulp art style and his limited color palette just really make this such a fun, wild ride. All right. Next up is Rex, written and emotionally drawn by Daniel Zazale and published by Optimum Wound Comics. And Rex is the journey of a man who becomes a feral beast, and it tells the story of a disgraced cop who is set up as a patsy by corrupt politicians and is then victimized in prison, only to become so focused on his vengeance he becomes a primal, instinctual monster of a man who breaks out and goes straight to the throat of anyone who had anything to do with his downfall. And this gripping yet short graphic novel is also accompanied by amazing poetry from the creator. And Zazale is such an incredible artist, and his work of the grayscale is beyond beautiful. And his very industrial looking art style just gives this book a very violent look and really helps it just be iconic. Cool, cool. Now, let's check out The Crow, Skinning the Wolves, written by the man himself, James O'Barr, with gory, wonderful art by Jim Terry, published by IDW. Now, the story for The Crow is one I think pretty much everybody knows. Well, this one takes us back to World War II Europe, and it's all about one bloody night of true vengeance in a concentration camp. I found this book to be the single best follow up to the original Crow graphic novel, and this is a story I think Hollywood should be making a film out of instead of trying to reboot the original. And take my word for it, every Nazi bastard gets what's coming to him in this book, and it's simply marvelous. Okay, then, next up we have Kabuki, Circle of Blood, written and drawn by one of comics' true gods, David Mack, originally published by Caliber Comics but has been reissued by Image Comics. And Kabuki is an insanely beautiful and surreal savage mix-up of espionage, assassination thriller, vengeance, and there are even a little bit of superhero elements at play here. And the story for this one is all about a shadow organization in Japan that is an elite squad of beautiful female agents. They take on jobs and do dirty work, but everything comes to a head when Kabuki, the best agent of the organization, discovers the truth of her tragic origins, and she just decides to take everything down with her. And just wow. Mac is such an epic visual storyteller, and even in black and white, his art just shines. This book is a prime example of why I scoff when people try to say all 90s comics suck. And last but surely not least, we have Die Vergelder, written and drawn by Hiroki Samura and published by Kodensha Comics. And Die Vergelder is pretty much a Takashi Miike or Sion Sono movie on paper, and it takes revenge stories to new, exciting, and even some disturbing heights. I love the way this story comes together, as it's kind of two narratives that slowly converge and become one huge knockdown, blowout thrill ride. This one tells the story of 3 women. One who's in over her head, one is looking for the people who ruined her life, and one who kills for money and fun. When certain events force them into conflict, 2 leave as friends and 1 as the enemy. And oh my gosh, what a wonderful heart-pounding adventure. And on the real, Samura's art is too magnificent. The articulation and motion in his action is mind-blowingly exceptional, and he writes one hell of a twisted, funny revenge thriller, full of odd and quirky characters that I really can't say enough nice things about. I completely love this book. Well, there you go, Vandals. Vengeance is mine. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if I missed your favorite, or if you have a revenge comic you'd like me to check out, please leave it in the comments because I love recommendations. But for now, until next time, this is Johnny Alpha from Graphic Vandalism saying don't stop reading.